an E, give me an H, this mode is just fine. I'm happy it's here. It's cool a Mario Kart game has a form of cooperative play, but it just makes it so both players are experiencing only half the fun of Mario Kart, especially the item user. There will be prolonged moments where you're just not doing anything. But that's pretty much all the dual characters amount to gameplay-wise. They're a fun addition, but all they do is add a hint of strategy to racing from time to time. Nothing major, but it still makes Double Dash really accessible. You don't have to switch characters at all, really, but if you want to master the game, you're gonna have to swap religiously. It makes this game, out of all the Mario Karts, stick out in a really good way. It's 8:07, I'm due for my weekly complaining about a Mario Kart's controls. I mean, I had something to whine about with all the games before this, but with Double Dash, by God, they did it. They finally nailed the controls of everything here, especially the drifting. Something about using the GameCube's triggers and the drifting in Double Dash just go together so well. It feels so good. And we gotta talk about the rocket start. Most Mario Karts give you a boost right at the start of the race if you start accelerating at a specific time during the countdown. Double Dash gives you the boost if you start accelerating the exact moment the light turns green. And Christ, it's strict. But you don't just have to do that. You can tap the A button rapidly once the countdown begins to get the same results. Yeah, I only do it this way, why wouldn't I? The controls may feel a bit looser than preferred, but it's nowhere near as hard to pull off a drift as it was with previous games, so the warrant's been updated. Now, because we have 2 characters per kart, Double Dash had to include like 50 characters. We got 20, damn it. All the characters from 64 and Super Circuit return alongside Koopa Troopa coming back from Super Mario Kart. But we actually got more new characters added than returning ones here. Just like Death, Daisy being playable in Mario Kart was inevitable, so whatever. Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, this raises more questions than answers. Koopa Paratroopa, these two are literally the same character except one's the product of crossbreeding. Diddy Kong, Bowser Jr., Waluigi, all are characters that make total sense for the series. King Boo and Petey Piranha are total, yeah, we had some extra time in development and felt like drawing circles. But they're really fun characters to have as options. Birdo, and they introduced Toadette, not just introduce her to Mario Kart, but introduce her as a character in general. This was her first appearance ever, and the first time I asked, what are these legally considered? Toadette was definitely just created to give Toad a partner in this game, because every character is associated with another. They all have a partner. Mario and Luigi, Peach and Daisy, Bowser and Bowser Jr., King Boo and Petey Piranha, because you can't have one without the other. Now, the characters having designated partners doesn't mean you have to use both. You can mix and match these guys any way you please. Morally, I feel it's just right to pick the characters that are already partners, but I love making combinations that just make no sense. Like, how the hell did we get to this point? I do love the character selection in this game, just for having all the Mario characters you'd expect to have in a Mario Kart, plus some why the fucks. You can't have a Mario Kart roster without some why the fucks. You also get a selection of different types of karts for the first time, and not every character can use every kart, but you usually get a selection of 3 or so vehicles per character combination. You have a lot to choose from when it comes to character combinations and kart types to affect your speed and weight, but this is just where the strategy begins when picking characters. Each character team has their own special item only those characters can use. Mario and Luigi can barf out fireballs, Peach and Daisy have hearts that protect them and can also steal some items, Yoshi and Birdo have eggs that home in on other players and break apart, showering the ground with 3 items. Baby Mario and Baby Luigi have Whiplash, Koopa Troopa and Koopa Paratroopa have triple shells. They're not available to everybody in this game, only they can use them. That's kind of raw. Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong have a giant banana peel. Bowser and Bowser Jr. have a giant Bowser shell. These are both as self-explanatory as they get. Wario and Waluigi have bombs, and Toad and Toadette have a golden mushroom. Again, an item that was once available to everybody, now exclusive to only 2 characters. King Boo and Petey Piranha don't even have their own special items. Instead, they can randomly get any special character exclusive item in the game. Jesus. Now, mixing and matching the characters makes it more random what special items you get. Like if I pick Luigi and Paratroopa, because they're both products of crossbreeding, I can get the fireballs and the triple shells, but if I really just want the fireballs, it's easier just to pick Mario and Luigi, so it's a surefire bet my special item will be some fireballs. When you have a mix and match team, if you want a higher chance of getting a specific character special item, you have to make sure they're the one in the back of the car, which I'm not always paying attention to. No new general items that everybody can use though. The only new items in Double Dash are the special ones. That and the fact that items that were once usable by everybody, like the golden mushroom and triple shells, are now special items. Are pretty lame, but I love the idea of character-specific items in this game. Sure, in Super Mario Kart, character-specific items did exist, but they were only used by CPUs. I love that there's actually a reason to pick characters over others. Sure, Mario Kart characters vary in terms of weight, but overall, you just kind of pick a Mario Kart character because, oh, this one looks cool, I'll play as this one. Double Dash actually gives you a reason to want to play as different characters, and I love that. But as much fun as the specials are, they're pretty overpowered. That makes them a ton of fun to use. but it does make Double Dash crazier than all hell. This game is pure chaos. This is the craziest Mario Kart out there. You will never have a couple of seconds go by without like 3 items flying past you. With 2 characters per kart, that means more items are out there than usual, and with the special items being so huge and overpowered, it just makes playing this game absolutely insane. If you're sitting down to play through Double Dash to unlock the hidden characters and tracks, it's a fucking mess. If you're sitting down to play Double Dash with friends, it is some of the most fun you can muster out of any Mario Kart. You get knocked around so much, items are everywhere, and special items like Bowser's Shell and the giant banana take up an entire county's worth of size. It's a lot of fun in multiplayer, but a lot of the strategy that goes into Double Dash's new elements is sadly almost completely pointless with the amount of random bullshit happening all the time. Its physics can be a little wonky sometimes, the item balance is crazier than I remember, and this is a train wreck of a game to sit down and try to complete in single player, but that makes it ridiculously fun in multiplayer. Well, let's move on to the tracks. We go back to the standard number of tracks from Mario Kart 64, 16 across 4 cups. The Mushroom Cup starts off with Luigi's Circuit. Yep, that's the stupidest date I've ever seen, but it's your standard no-nonsense Mario Kart course. This is your lame stepdad's favorite track. This is an interesting one just because you can pass by racers going in the opposite direction of you based on how the track layout is. Peach Beach and Dry Dry Desert are okay, just nothing special to be honest. Peach Beach has the interesting distinction of being yet another one of the stupidest dates I've ever seen. So stupid, I might just censor it. But then we have Baby Park, a 7-lap oval. That's it. Because of how small this track is and the amount of laps and the amount of bullshit, this is a fun one. So many items blazing around, all the racers are rubbing up against each other. It's crazy how one of Double Dash's greatest tracks is a fucking circle. Flower Cup. Mushroom Bridge is alright, I mainly remember it just because the music sounds like business is getting done. Mario Circuit's a less memorable Luigi Circuit to me, just because it ain't a lanky 8, that's for sure. There's a chain jump though, that's pretty fun. Daisy Cruiser is the track from Double Dash. You're on a cruise ship, you can go through a dining area where the tables are shifting all over the place, and you can fall down this hole, damn it. Waluigi Stadium's a fun time. It's like the Double Dash take on 64's Wario Stadium, and it has a whole lot of Piranha Plant budget cuts. I like this one because it really does feel like a motocross stadium. It's a good time. Star Cup. Sherbet Land is garbage. I hate this one. There's too many freezies. Mushroom City is a bit of a cooler take on Mushroom Bridge's concept, but it's a bit harder. Yoshi Circuit finally answers the question, what does it feel like to drive on Yoshi? Just the fact that they were able to make a good track out of an outline of Yoshi is all it takes to make this the best circuit track of the game. DK Mountain. This part with the crack, lame, but everything else is great. Now, you have to get first overall in the 100cc Star Cup to unlock the Special Cup, and after you do, we have Wario Coliseum, a 2-lap course because of how honking long this thing is. But it's a really fun one. I love the atmosphere of being in this giant go-kart cage match. The Dino Jungle is neat just because of its use of dinosaur feet. Overall, this one's okay, but Bowser's Castle feels like an epic adventure. Every single part of this course has something crazy going on. I don't know what it is with this one, but I love this rendition of Bowser's Castle. And f Rainbow Road. This one just annoys me. I always feel like the camera or track is at an angle to where it's too hard to see what the hell is coming up. I proudly get last place every time. So getting first overall in the 150cc Cup is what pure pain feels like, and it unlocks the All Cup Tour, a marathon of all the tracks in the game thus far. There's nothing new to any of this. It's literally just playing all the tracks in the game again. Am I really gonna go through with this?
No.
I did it anyways. I mean, you have to place first in All Cup Tour on 150cc to unlock Mirror Mode, and then you have to beat the Star Cup on Mirror Mode to unlock King Boo and Petey Piranha. You can't have one without the fucking other! Toad and Toadette are the only other unlockable pair of characters, and they're unlocked by beating the Special Cup on 100cc. God, Toad is such a flaccid unlockable character. Like, is it really exciting to unlock Toad in a Mario Kart game? Who goes... Holy sh**! Oh my god. I mean, I'll give Double Dash that. They actually have junk for you to work towards. 64 had barely anything to keep you playing single player wise, and Super Mario Kart was just really tedious because you had to get first place in everything to unlock the Special Cup. But with Double Dash, just with what I said earlier, this game is nuts. You'll have a good run with a cup, looking to get first place overall, and then reality sets in. It can be tedious and difficult to unlock everything, but hey, it's not as bad as Super Mario Kart. The All Cup Tour actually wasn't that bad overall. It takes about 40 minutes, but because you have so many tracks to get through, there's a lot more wiggle room to screw up. Well, we can piss off to Battle Mode, which is in fact one of my favorite parts of Double Dash, at least one of my favorites as a kid. Look at these maps. Cookie Land, Block City, Pipe Plaza, this one. I like this one. It's the most boring geographically, but it's the most GameCube geographically. There are actually more battle modes this time. Outside of Balloon Battle, we have Baba and Blast, where you just try to hit the most racers without getting hit as much as they do. And then there's Shine Thief, where you have to nab the shine from Mario Sunshine and keep it until the timer goes down to 0. There was quite a bit of Mario Sunshine love thrown into Double Dash, and most obviously the award ceremony at the end of a cup. Now, all of these maps can be played across all the different battle modes, and yes, that includes the 2 unlockable maps, son of a bitch. Alright, let's unlock Luigi's Mansion and Tilt-A-Cart. Yeah, that's Luigi's Mansion. And yep, that is Tilt-A-Cart. Finally, let's talk one of Double Dash's defining traits. Not many have experienced this, including myself, but it offers LAN play. You can play this game with up to 16 people by connecting up to 8 GameCubes together with its broadband adapter. That way, everybody can have their own TV screen. You don't have to abide by the laws of split screen and look at what your opponents are doing. Now, I'm personally fine with 4-player split screen. It works perfectly fine in Double Dash, but to have your own screen and to have 16 people playing at the same time, that was unheard of for Mario Kart. It's an awesome feature that not many have experienced, but from what I've heard, it was pretty magical. So that was Mario Kart Double Dash. Is it the best Mario Kart? It might be. Everybody has their own personal favorite Mario Kart. I've heard countless people go on and on about how Super Mario Kart is the best. And I mean, I listen to them. Super Mario Kart is the best one because of how simple and intuitive it is. The track design is great and the items are balanced. It's challenging and the battle mode is phenomenal. I find that each of the Mario Karts before Double Dash, while good in their own respects, have aged poorly in many ways. Double Dash was the first one that didn't feel dated to me. And while that means all games after Double Dash also don't feel dated, stuff like Mario Kart DS, Wii, and 7, there's not much reason to play those games compared to the latest one. Sure, there are a few, but overall, I'm more likely to play something like Mario Kart Wii as a novelty to look back at how Mario Kart was back in 2008, but then I'd just go to play the most recent Mario Kart with friends. Double Dash isn't like that. It's the most unique entry of them all and is still worth playing now, even considering any new Mario Kart that's out. It's a special game. It's not perfect, it's not the definitive Mario Kart experience, but it's the most unique and one of the most enjoyable. I can sort of see why some reviewers at the time, or even people today, weren't too thrilled with it. It's very lacking in substantial single-player content, and also didn't really go above and beyond with providing loads more content than 64. Plus, the quality of the tracks as a whole isn't the best Mario Kart's ever been. There's a good few that I adore and love to this day, but to be honest, the majority of them are just kinda okay. But I think it makes up for it with its gameplay, its uniqueness, and its polish, the animations, just seeing characters lose their balance on edges, play around with the items. This feels like modern Mario stuff. It's not dated in the slightest. And that's just one of the reasons why I think Double Dash is still so great all these years later. Double Dash has barely aged a bit. It's still a blast to play, and it offers so much that no other Mario Kart has. Now, that still makes it fun to play today, but what makes it truly one of the best Mario Karts? Honestly, it was the bonus disc.
I heard this on the name alone.
Hey all, Scott here. I have started a new health initiative to bring awareness to plastic deficiency. I was diagnosed with it 22 words ago and would like to open things up for people willing to donate to the cause. I was also diagnosed with lie about plastic deficiency to get a free Wii Zapper syndrome. The Nintendo Wii, one of the best-selling consoles of all time. Its mission? Appeal to people outside of the gaming crowd with games and controllers that were simple and intuitive. First everybody, then the world. For a while there, everybody's favorite pastime was buying a Wii, and it was all because of its controller. The Wii Remote had motion sensing capabilities which made things drastically easier for more casual consumers to understand. You didn't have to press A and then X followed up with a bachelor's degree to swing the baseball bat. You just swung the baseball bat. The Wii was a success due to how simple it was. So why was there so much shit you could buy for it? Oh my god, it's a Wii owner! Sir, would you buy any of this? Oh, I'll buy f***ing anything. Releasing in 2006, the Wii was a tremendous hit, specifically with the outsiders. Yeah, those people. People who didn't normally play video games. They had a lot of fun with games like Wii Sports and Wii Play. They were simple to control and easy to understand, primarily because the controls for the games were incredibly intuitive due to them mimicking real-life motions. It felt like you were actually golfing or swinging a tennis racket or killing a duck. But we can't just stop at the liability wand. We can make this so much more realistic. We can put it in a wheel, put it in a gun, put it in a kid. The Wii Remote was pretty much a blank slate. You can do anything with it. How do you make things more immersive? By doing this. Accessories for video game platforms are an inevitability. Extra doodads to make your experience that much better with a question mark. Some are completely optional, some may be required for certain games, and all are too damn much. I would argue the Wii was the system with the most accessories ever. Just the fact you could swivel the controller and it was a simple rectangle meant you could pop this brick in anything for maximum unnecessary. Whether accessories were made by Nintendo themselves, licensed by Nintendo to carry the Wii branding, or were fucking garbage, any way you slice it, there were a ton of accessories for the Wii. It would be nearly impossible to compile them all together, but that's exactly what Noah said. I did my best, and here we have the world of... So the Wii was a 2006 party platter. In the box, you got a stand for the stand, AV cables, power adapter, sensor bar, Wii remote with a jacket, nunchuck, and a copy of Wii Sports. Who's hungry for more? I guess you could consider the nunchuck to be an accessory. Plug it in the bottom of the Wii remote for games that support it. Boom! You just get a thumbstick. That's all it takes. We have 2 more buttons and another excuse for motion controls. The nunchuck is a necessary evil with life. You need it for a good chunk of the Wii library, but I don't know many strictly nunchuck fans. It has absolutely zero weight to it. Its motion controls are 100% not as good or responsive as the Wii remote itself, and while I didn't have much of an issue with the cord, many did and felt it would get in the way of what once was a truly wireless experience. I'm surprised not that many Wii games supported using dual Wii remotes as an option. You'd have to plug the nunchuck into this here port, which offered endless opportunities. So many other Wii controllers use this. There's never been this many possibilities with just one hole. The Wii Classic controllers were used by those too stubborn to convert. Some games offered support for them. You'd plug them into the bottom of the Wii remote and you'd just use them like any other controller. They were primarily created to control classic games you'd download from the Wii Shop channel, hence why the first model looks so similar to a Super Nintendo controller. In fact, only available in Japan through the Club Nintendo service was a legitimate Super Famicom controller for the Wii. It works just like a classic controller, but it doesn't have the sticks and tic-tac growths. They later released an update, the Classic Controller Pro, firmly drawing a line between people who used the classic controller and people who cared. I love when the word pro is used for products like this. I can't use this, I'm a professional. A tweaked classic controller with some button placement adjustments, and of course something to keep your palms busy. These were nice little extra purchases back then. They may not have had rumble or motion controls, and they were always tethered to the Wii remote, but I never personally had an issue with that. All of those downsides contributed to an extremely affordable price. Only around 20 bones for these controllers made them a bit of a no-brainer. Plus, they connected to the Wii remote. You know what doesn't connect to the Wii remote? Satan. See, these things are amazing. But see, there's even more to this port. Contrary to popular belief, the Wii remote wasn't perfect. It's okay, who cares about religion anyways? Many would point to the initial trailers for the console where people were using the controllers in exaggerated ways, like jumping behind the couch to take cover. See, the Wii remote needed more oomph if it was ever going to come close to detecting more precise hand movements like that. So, alongside the game Wii Sports Resort, Nintendo unleashed their next Wii remote add-on. Let me check my pocket. Oh yeah, I got one, the Motion Plus. The Wii Motion Plus is attached to the bottom of the Wii remote and added a gyroscope to further enhance the Wii remote's motion sensing capabilities. Like, the Wii remote did the job before this, but that's all you could really say about it. Motion Plus actually read the precise positioning of your hand. It just comes with the downside of having to recalibrate the controller from time to time. But it does read movements far more accurately, and it came with a longer Wii remote jacket too. I'm welcome. This technology was quickly added into future Wii remotes sold, the Wii Remote Plus, which these are definitely the go-to way to experience Motion Plus. You'd constantly have to rip off the adapter to use it with other accessories, and this thing was complicated as all hell considering Nintendo included a Wii Motion Plus how-to video with all games they released that supported it. Nintendo, why didn't you include a how to click on the Wii Motion Plus video? I have no damn clue what I'm doing here. A good handful of Wii games either offered Motion Plus support or 100% required it, so thank God they incorporated that technology into future Wii remotes. This has gone through the laundry 5 too many times. Here's the thing though, Motion Plus is great, good for it, but it isn't wheel-shaped enough. That's exactly why Nintendo created the Wii Wheel, bundled in with Mario Kart Wii plastic. It's plastic. It doesn't give the Wii remote any additional features or benefits outside of feeling more steering wheel-like. It does have a cutout for the IR pointer and an extension for the B button, but other than that, there is nothing the Wii Wheel offers that tape doesn't. Back in 2008, this was kinda cool because, like I said, what made the Wii remote popular were the games that mimicked real life. Throw the bowling ball, slide, or poultry. This felt like you were sorta really driving, but it's a wildly unnecessary purchase considering it's just a holder for the remote. All it does is make you feel like you're licensed and it gets suspended. It may be just plastic, but that never stopped publishers from adding compatible with Wii Wheel to their game boxes. Oh yes, it's compatible with the Wii Wheel. Is it also compatible with the concept of love? But that brings us to the ultimate form of plastic. See, Wii games taught me what it's like to play golf. They also taught me what it's like to kill. The Wii Zapper. Obviously, the name is a throwback to the NES Zapper, probably also because they don't really like to label things as a gun. For only $20, you got literally the only thing that matters, and this looks like a gun shed its skin. Link's crossbow training was bundled in with all Zappers and is a simple high-score-based game with a handful of levels based on The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. You go through 3 different types of stages, ones where you're just blasting targets in on-rail sections, others where you have to stand your ground and defeat the enemies before they get to you, and full-on third-person shooting sections where you have full control of Link. It's incredibly short, you can get through the entire thing in roughly 45 minutes, but it's legitimately fun to try and go for high scores. It's interesting Nintendo opted for a Zelda-themed pack-in game for the Zapper, considering this isn't the first franchise I think of when the term Zap is brought up. Also, Nintendo's pack-in titles for the Wii were generally the generic meme-based game, but to be fair, this is a weapon. This was already mostly aimed towards the core Wii owner, not the people who bought Wii Play, more so the people who bought Elements. So I think it just made sense to utilize one of their more mature-oriented franchises, which just makes me wonder why they didn't do a Metroid Prime shooting range pack-in instead. That would have made slightly more sense. But that's just the game. What about the Zapper? I hate it. I never liked this thing. If we look at the Wii wheel, that's as simple as Wii accessories get. Boom, just wasted 20 bucks. The Wii Zapper isn't as complicated as a science project, but comparative to other Wii accessories, it is. Put the Wii remote here and then the nunchuck here, open up this flap, close it shut, take off the back cover, wrap the cord around, have it extend out here, put the cover back on, plug into Wii remote. Why did I do this? By the time I finish setting this up, it fully sets in that no game needs the Wii Zapper. It's just a shell for the Wii remote and nunchuck, and to me, it makes things slightly more awkward when I play first-person shooters with it. Instead of being able to hold the nunchuck independently and move the Wii remote by itself, these two things are now conjoined. You have to move everything to aim and shoot. Sure, it feels a bit more gun-like, but not enough to be a huge boost to immersion. Like the Wii wheel looks and feels like a wheel, the Wii Zapper is as gun-like as a water gun. This has way too much work required for what ends up being just an okay experience at best. I would always prefer to just use the vanilla Wii remote and nunchuck setup. It's more comfortable this way and doesn't require any preparation. Which that was the mentality behind Wii Speak, Nintendo's solution to voice chat online. No setup, just do it. This was released alongside Animal Crossing City Folk. You'd plug it into one of the USB ports on the Wii, set it on top of the sensor bar, and talk to your friends, or at the very least try to. See, the concept behind Wii Speak was great at the time. You wouldn't have to wear headphones with a mic, no wires, just talk to your TV and hear your friends talk back. It felt like a very Wii way to do voice chat. The problem was, that microphone was right next to your TV's speakers, so while it would pick up your voice, it would also pick up the game's audio and your friend's voice and their game's audio, non-stop echoing, so it was just my favorite definition of not good. They may have said it was designed to mute the game audio or echoes, but this is the same company who said, let's make the Wii Speak. You can download the Wii Speak channel alongside it, coming in December. It doesn't work anymore, but it would allow you to chat with your friends. This was pretty much the extent of Wii Speak's use. It was compatible with a few other games, whether it was for online voice chat or just to give certain games microphone support. Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy let you record victory and defeat catchphrases while also letting you speak your answers. It works about as good as I'd say it does. It doesn't. But the Wii Speak is worth it for recording victory and defeat sounds in Wheel of Fortune alone.
Got it.
Wii Speak was one of Nintendo's most underutilized accessories for the Wii. It felt like they wanted it to be used for so much more, but they just kind of made it for Animal Crossing and then pissed out. Look at all these Wii Speak compatible games. Who never thought I'd have to spend reading a Wikipedia article? Well, I can at least say this wasn't the case for the Wii Balance Board. Bundled in with Wii Fit, it was a skill that actively insulted you. This definitely got much more support, and justifiably so. I mean, this allowed you to use your entire body to control a game, not just your hands. Whether it worked properly or not, it was on a case-by-case basis. Some games it actually worked as advertised, others it wasn't responsive enough or it was too responsive enough. The main games I played with this were obviously Wii Fit and its standalone expansion Wii Fit Plus. They made good use of the board, though sometimes these games felt more like a good use of the board rather than a good way to get in shape. Quite a few games supported the balance board, but they mostly boiled down to other fitness and sports titles and Tetris. While the Wii itself was a very health-conscious machine promoting so much not sitting, the balance board truly branded it as gaming Weight Watchers. And Nintendo wanted to do even more health-related jargon on the console, which brings us to the Wii Vitality sensor. It released. Gotcha. At E3 2009, Nintendo fans' worst nightmare was revealed. Much like the nunchuck or Wii Classic controllers, this would plug into the bottom of the Wii remote. You'd then stick a finger into it and it would read your heartbeat. People lost their shit. This was announced at a time many hardcore fans were getting tired of Nintendo's greater focus on casual and health-based initiatives, and when they revealed something you'd find in hospice, well, that's kinda hard to get excited over. Nintendo stated that in 2010 they would showcase games that utilize the accessory. Instead, they went for a different tactic and canceled it 4 years later. No games, no pricing, no release window. The reveal at E3 2009 was pretty much all we saw of the Vitality sensor. It was said to focus on getting users to relax by reading their heartbeat. The only true experience I thought of that would have benefited from this thing was a horror game. The idea of a horror game that knows when you're scared has so much potential. I like to think the Wii Vitality sensor was going to be sort of cool. I did find the concept behind it to be intriguing. The problem was, during product testing, well, Nintendo got it to work with 90% of their focus group. They wanted it to be at 100%. And that is pretty much all of the official Nintendo-made accessories for the Wii. Of course, we couldn't forget about the Nintendo LAN adapter or the Nintendo Wi-Fi USB connector for playing online. We couldn't. But that's only half the story with Wii accessories. See, if you were a company that noticed Nintendo stuffing Wii remotes into random pieces of plastic,
Remember when you did that thing? And it was
let's just say less sticks, many
I got it.
yes, what was Nintendo too scared to make themselves? See, many companies looked at Nintendo cramming this thing into God knows what and said, we can do that too. That's not to say these other companies made pure garbage. I mean, you can't have not garbage if pure garbage doesn't exist. It has value. Some third-party accessories were actually pretty cool, useful, or even got the blessing from Nintendo themselves, such as this wireless sensor bar produced by Rocketfish Gaming, but officially licensed by Nintendo. All you have to do is throw 4 AAA batteries in, realize the person you bought this from left decade-old batteries in it, get battery corrosion on your hands, and play Fortune Street. But what if I don't want chemical burns and I just want to look like a fucking idiot? Well, there's the Headbanger in-game chat headset for the Wii, another one officially licensed by Nintendo. Nintendo looked at this and went,
Shells gathered.
yeah, Modern Warfare 3 didn't support the Wii Speak. I can't believe it either. So this worked with Black Ops and Modern Warfare 3 and Conduit 2. I had me at so. It's just a simple USB headset. It doesn't work with Wii Speak games. Don't shoot me, I'm just the messenger. Games like Black Ops on Wii are still online, so let's give it a shot. My Wii U froze, but my biggest concern is I can't try out the headset. We got loads of stands for the system, games, controllers, all of that. I used to have this media tower right here, but what I have in my hands is an ashtray. I don't know who made this or when it came out, but it has the official Wii logo on it. It has spots for the console, some games, some remotes, but this looks like a pill organizer to me. So the Wii with the stand doesn't fit, only the Wii without the stand fits, and that barely fits. The Wii has these little nubs on the side that keeps it from sliding in. The games aren't snug at all, and I guess I'm supposed to put my nunchuck here? I hate this. I feel like my Wii is gonna fall at any moment. Maybe they want you to put it like this. But what I'm here for are the third-party controllers, like this Tatsunoko vs. Capcom Fight Stick. I always wanted this, primarily for old arcade games I downloaded from the Wii Shop channel. There was only one way to play NES Pac-Man, not. But this stick would have made it way more fun. I always wanted this fight stick for anything but Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom is a great game, but I don't know what those first 3 words mean. This is a legitimate quality arcade stick. It has superb weight to it, and it plugs into the Wii remote like a classic controller. Tons of Wii controllers use the remote as a means to power the devices as well as keep them wireless, which was incredibly smart. It helped keep costs down. Why cram all that technology into these things when the Wii remote can do all the heavy lifting? First thing that comes to mind are the music game peripherals. Guitar Hero and Rock Band instruments, the DJ Hero turntable. Just pop a Wii remote in and you're in business. And speaking of music game peripherals, Dance Dance Revolution mats. You'd plug these into the GameCube ports on the original model. Somehow I was expecting this to plug into the Wii remote. But see, the DDR mats are fine, but what if I want to draw instead of dance, and I want this to be a drawing tablet instead of a dancing mat? I'm so lucky this exists. The UDraw game tablet, created by THQ. You'd pop a Wii remote in, and boom, we can finally play UDraw Studio. I was always wondering why you couldn't play this. You need a tablet for it. So here's the thing. For what it is, UDraw functions fine enough. It does in fact work, but not well enough for Wacom to grit their teeth. Left-handed people are a fucking sin to UDraw. This tablet was obviously designed with righties in mind. You use the Wii remote buttons to control certain elements, while the stylus is on the right-hand side of the device, attached by a cord shorter than the list of Wii Speak compatible games. The included software is just a simple art program. There's loads of things to do here, like boot it up, draw a horse. The possibilities are endless. You can also play Pictionary. Guess what word I'm drawing? That's right, arrows. This is alright, but it's not anywhere close to as precise as actual drawing tablets. While THQ tried to showcase how this can be used for actual art, to me, this is nothing more than a toy. THQ released a handful of UDraw required games and also brought the accessory over to the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. This is what killed them. Banking on an art accessory for 3 systems when you're best known for WWE games, I don't know what they were thinking with this one. Nobody goes to THQ for advice. Why did they think they could make this? See, THQ was never really, in my eyes, a big or quality enough company to truly make an accessory like this and for it to be successful. So I'll follow that statement up with a sentence I find myself ending everything with these days. What about Ubisoft? Did anybody know this was a thing? The Drawsome tablet, released about a year after UDraw, was a drawing tablet by Ubisoft. I have never heard of this thing before. It's fundamentally the exact same thing as UDraw, but we have 2 games bundled in for the price of 1, Smurf Art and not Smurf Art. Popping the game in. Where's the stylus? So my tablet didn't come with a stylus. See, I thought the core length of UDraw was a negative, but hey, at least the stylus can't be lost this way. I bought this used and it did not come with a pen, and I also can't use a UDraw tablet to control Drawsome games. I know, humanity just can't win. But Sketch Quest is playable with just a Wii remote. This is a good time to move on to guns. So the Wii Zapper always looked more like a cousin of a gun rather than an actual gun, so if you wanted a more realistic take, I wouldn't blame you. The Nyko Perfect Shot feels fairly solid. You have a port for the nunchuck at the bottom. Yep, I feel like shooting. But if you need a Wii gun, this is one of your best bets. Because other than the Perfect Shot, we have this. 2 blasters plus game. Nintendo gave their blessing to these. This was an interesting proposition. You'd get 2 Wii Remote guns and a free downloadable WiiWare game, Big Town Shootout. So we have to go to PDP's website to get a download code for it. Okay, let's at least try to input this code into the Wii Shop channel. Alright, let's open up a WiiWare game I have that involves killing. These are very bizarre. Where we take the battery cover off the Wii Remote, the gun inserts on the back instead, and it took me a while to realize they then want you to put the battery cover on the side of the gun. For the longest time, I just assumed this was how it looked. I mean, sure, this way, it's pretty well attached, but I didn't really think that was a problem with any other Wii guns I've used. Like the Nerf gun, bundled in with the Nerf N-Strike games. It's fine. You can also use it as an actual Nerf gun if you're just dying to prove to everybody you bought Nerf N-Strike. But here we have the big boy, the Cabela's Big Game Hunter accessory. This is about as complicated as a Wii Zapper, but this feels much more like an actual gun. There's even a crosshair that you can sync up with the game so you can use it to aim down sights. Alright, it's time to shoot whatever comes up. And I have the exact same problem with this as I did with the Wii Zapper. I just don't like moving this entire thing around compared to being able to freely move the Wii Remote and nunchuck separately. Out of all these guns, I probably just prefer playing with the controllers by themselves, but if I had to choose one, the blasters felt the best. What the f am I saying? Well, like most aspiring parents, the only reasonable thing to do after critiquing a gun is raise a child. Babysitting Mama, a spin-off of Cooking Mama. This one's all about not shaking the baby. We have this plush doll we slide our Wii Remote in, and then we plug a nunchuck into the baby's back. Fundamentally, we hold the child in one hand and then control various things with the nunchuck. It's all just a handful of minigames revolving around babysitting, rocking the baby to sleep, feeding it, all that. It is very pushy about not shaking the baby. That's a worthy cause, but it also actively encourages Wii Remote implants. But is this really what you think of when Wii accessories are brought up? Of course not. Bring in the landfill. Many companies looked at the Wii wheel and said, people will buy anything. Various accessories were put out that really add to the realism of Wii Sports, like how this turns your Wii Remote into a 2-inch tall baseball bat and you and your friend can play baseball using 2 baseball bats. It just works. I have yet to find a plastic add-on for the Wii Remote like this that actually adds to the game. These are all completely worthless. All these do is allow you to say, look ma, I'm stupid. A skateboard add-on for the Wii balance board, hell.
Thank you. The odds against you.
Actually, there were...
Let me analyze the data. We'll prove once and for all if there's a Yeti on Mount Blizzard. Incredible. I never would have predicted this. The results are... inconclusive.
Oh. What does that mean?
It means we need more science. I'll have to redo my entire theory of Yeti detection. Don't worry. One day, we'll discover the truth.